the back of mama. Never forget my family. Tout ce que tu as fait dans ma vie, je peux plus vivre. Tout ce que tu as fait dans ma vie, je peux plus vivre. Tout ce que tu as fait, ça te va comme maman. Je peux plus vivre. Where I'm falling from. Scooby super, ça te va comme maman. We'll never forget where I'm falling from. Your husband to bed, ça te va comme maman. We'll never forget where I'm falling from.
For Bamenda, I was born in Bamenda. Indian. In my next follow, I want be in a Bamenda. I be picking for Bamenda. I was born in Bamenda. Pass me the light. In my next follow, I want be in a Bamenda. I be picking for Bamenda. I was born in Bamenda. In my next follow, I want be in a Bamenda. From the hills to the fields, keep version, keep clean, ancestors on wheels. Moji and the river, lick it the la, lick it fa, lick it down, lick it done, lick it showers, lick it lamb, you did the one shade. I be big for Bamenda, I was born in Bamenda, I shall die in Bamenda. In my next follow, I want me in a Bamenda, no. Mash fire, papa. I be big for Bamenda, I was born in Bamenda, I shall die in Bamenda. In my next follow, I want me in a Bamenda, no. Bamenda people, oh yo. From northwest to southwest, Bamenda people everywhere. I be picking for my fair and I enjoy one hospitality. With the married, with the boss picking Bamenda people, now we boil them out. Give me fufu gun with the jama and tori and sumo ajua.
In my previous videos, I showed you how to get input. And sometimes we get this input in errors. And I usually ask, how can we fix this? Do you want to have the robust solution to get it? I also got this comment to write a sensitive function. This is a common that I also got this comment that to write functions to handle. This is a common that I also got this comment that to write functions a proper hand function. That this is a common that I also get this comment that to write functions as a proper hand function. That this is a common that I also get this comment that to write functions as a proper hand function. That this is a common that I also get this comment that to write functions as a proper hand function. That this is a common that I also get this comment that to write functions as a proper hand function. That this is a common that I also get this comment that to write functions as a proper hand function. Here you will see two of them. And the first in my previous videos, I showed you how to get input. Sometimes we get this input errors. I usually ask, how can we fix this? You want to have a robust solution getting inputs from the user. I also got this comment, write a sensible function. This is a common practice in programming, that write functions to handle things that we do repeatedly. In this video, I will show you a robust function that you can use to get input from the user. Most of the exercises that we will do will get input. It's wise to have functions that we can always call and get valid input from the user. Let me dive into my code editor and show you how this works. I have my file here. I've created a file here called utils.py. It's a Python program, so utils.py. And let me drop a comment here. It's a utility function. In the course of this series, if I have any utility function, I will put it. Here you will see two of them. Utility. And the first one is to make a function in Python. We start with def. So I get an integer, and what do we have as input? We have the instruction from the user. This should be a string, and the minimum value expected be an int. The maximum value expected, and this will be an int, and the function should return. We can have some documentation, very good to have. So what do we do in order to get a value? What's a value? Equals to int input if there's, and if the user gives us something that is out of, then we'll print this error message. If everything works well, then let us return value. This function should work normally here. There are a couple of things that can go wrong. If an error happens here, then the program will crash. So we'll do this in a try, exception, as exception, and we print the same thing here. But if you want to know the exception, if you want to know the error that had occurred, you can print error and just give error value. But what happens here is that whenever we reach here, the program will end. So let's continue. Let's make it such that until we have a valid input, then that's the only time when the program only ends when we reach line 4, when line 24 is valid. This means that if the value that the user gives us, if the value is out of range, print this error. And if the value can be converted to int, that's the first thing. If the value can be converted to int and it is within range, then we'll end up here, print at the line 20. If it cannot be converted to integer, then it will end here. The program will continually add input. So this is just a copy paste. Will give you a similar function. Float. In the next video, I will show you how to call this function. and swap this variable, call it temp. Means 90 value A. And now value that we have is value of 20. Now what then we value that we have A equal to A, B equal to B. And after swapping, A equals to A and B equals to B. So let's run this. This is the value. Before swapping, A equals to 10, B equals to 20. After swapping, A is equals to 20 and B equals to 10. What do you think the value of 10 would be? To swap this using a more Pythonic way, those who program in Python, they call them Pythonists. So, and we have Pythonic ways of doing things. We can use a one-liner. Here we don't need to introduce another variable, and we do like that. This is swapping in Python. One line, line 22. And if we run this again, then you see this happens. If you are interested to how this works, watching. Let me show you how this is working. You see, this is the problem. You know that a variable is just a position, a memory that holds a value. So have A, B. A has a value of 10 and has a value of 20. At the end of the program, it should be like this. The A should be 20, 10. Normally in programming, what happens is that we take the inputs, do some processing, then give out the output. This case is very trivial, as we saw in the description. Value of A and B have been swapped. But what really happened is to happen. You saw me introduce a temporary variable. I copied the value of A into the temporary variable. And the next step would be to copy the value of B to A. That, and now B and A has the same value. In order to change the value of B, just take the value that we have stored in the temporary variable, copy B. I ask a question for that: what would be the value of temp temporary variable that we had in our program? Here on asking what's the value, and that's the value that
Lionel Messi's
whatever
son,
value
Tiago
that
Messi,
he had
was
at the
asked in
beginning,
an interview.
same value that see, we're just moving values from one variable. That is why they call swap.